Another basketball season is upon us at Utah Valley with some returning faces looking to make some noise in the Western Athletic Conference. The 2018-2019 season starts tonight with in-state foe Westminster right here on UVU TV. Sports fans, another basketball season for Utah Valley is underway. The 2018-2019 campaign for the Wolverines kicks off tonight against the Westminster Griffins. Hello everybody, Brandon Crow alongside my trusty sidekick, Holden Hunsaker. Holden, it's been a while, but I can't believe it's come and gone so fast. Another season right here upon us tonight.
I know, the nerves are still there. Like, it feels like it was just yesterday we were wrapping up last season, but I'm excited. I got the pregame jitters like I usually do, and I'm sure these guys do as well.
Now, there were a handful of new faces warming up on the court, and they're about ready to come out as well. But there are two particular familiar faces for Utah Valley, and Jake and Connor Toulson, that are going to be doing some damage this year.
I know it's kind of a cliche term to label guys as crafty, but these guys can do everything. Between Connor and Jake, it's a great core to have coming back to a group that really lost a lot in that starting lineup.
Now on the other side of the court for Westminster and the Griffins, this is their first year in Division II play. And it's a familiar, unfamiliar foe. I mean, they're an in-state rival or an in-state foe that people know, but not very many people know a lot about them.
Right. You think immediately at Westminster, you think of their academic and the education background that you get going to school there, but it's been their athletic programs that have really come on late. They had a great year last year, and as you mentioned, first year in Division II basketball, to go, an hour south and play a Division I program that has a lot of excitement around it, Westminster's going to be ready to go.
Well, it's going to be a fun one tonight. We'll have your starting lineups and tip-off next right here on UVU TV.
In this moment, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes. It doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance that you do. What matters right now is the quality of your independent insurance agent.
Glad you're okay, Sarah. We'll take care of everything.
And the company that stands behind them.
Thanks so much for your help.
No problem.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
When I was hired as the new coach at UVU, I knew that if we were going to win games, we'd have to have fans in the seats. I'm not much of a marketing guy, but I have some friends that know a thing or two about it.
All right, Coach. This is all about face-to-face interaction. That was actually pretty good. If this whole basketball thing doesn't work out, you should give me a call.
If you're looking to earn money this summer, stop by the Vantage Marketing booth on the concourse during our games or visit choosevantage.com.
You're watching UVU TV.
It is Native American Heritage Month and Native American Heritage Night here at the UCCU Center. A stirring tribute by fellow Native Americans. There's a big contingent here as well in the stands. This is something that head coach Mark Pope for Utah Valley really wanted to have tonight, really wanted to help celebrate this particular faction of a group of Americans, very traditional and very spirited group of people, and something that he draws inspiration from. One of UVU's Cultural Honor Corps. We'll be right back with tip-off next on UVU TV. Please welcome the visiting Westminister Griffins. At guard number 2, Brandon Wong. At guard number 10, Jake Connor. All right, tip-off is just minutes away. We're about ready to have the introductions. Again, lots of festivities here for the first home game between Utah Valley and Westminster. And we have some big celebrities in the crowd. We will get to that in just a minute. But starting lineups have been announced to us here at the starters table. And Utah Valley's starting lineups are right there on screen for you. Again, new faces for you Utah Valley fans to get used to. Isaiah White and Bailey Steele are some names that you'll be hearing lots of this year, but familiar faces with Jake Toulson, Ben DeQuas, and Connor Toulson.
And again, the backbone of this is going to be Jake and Connor on the backcourt. You know, they bring so much leadership to the ball club. They bring, you know, experience coming back from a team that had so much success last year. And again, as we mentioned pregame, they're just such gifted basketball players. As you think about what Jake and Connor don't do well, it's hard to come up with those things.
And for Westminster, the Griffins coming down from up north. Brandon Ward, one of the leading scorers for this ball club at double digits last week in a loss against BYU. Jake Connor, Alec Monson, JJ Eli, and Jacob McCord.
And these are all guys that have ties to Utah, either with the high school in Utah or in Jonas Tavanainen, who went to Utah Valley last year. These guys have heard a lot about the excitement of the program in Utah Valley, and they're going to be excited to, you know, test what they've been working on.
Jake Toulson, which you saw right there, there's a point that we haven't made mention of yet. He and his wife had just welcomed in their first baby boy, Gus Kimball Toulson, into this earth just a couple months ago. So congratulations again to Jake Toulson for being a new father. And I had a chance to speak with him last week before this game, and he said that being a father is much more calming and soothing to his game than he thought it would be. He said for some reason, when he goes out there, he thinks of Gus, as you can see him inspiring his team out there. He thinks of his little guy at home, and he says everything just falls into place for him out in the court.
Yeah, it's a great way of thinking about it. So I had the chance to have a little girl. So I didn't have a Gus, I had a Quincy. So I had a little girl during my senior year. And it really is a calming influence, because you kind of realize that basketball is a great game, it's a lot of fun, but there's more to life outside of it too.
Head coach Mark Pope in his 4th season as the Utah Valley head coach. And what a remarkable 4 seasons it's been. One of the highest jumps in RPI and in the Ken Palm rankings that any school has ever had. And he just continues to set not the stars or the moon as the limit, but he wants to set the next universe as the limit. He continues to just improve. And on the other side, head coach Norm Parrish from Northwest Nazarene and his assistants Landon Crosby, Benjamin Kaufman, and then Dave Heck. He's in his 4th season at Westminster as well. Again, a rising program, first year at D2, And they're no slouch. They're going to continue to improve just as much on the D1 side as Utah Valley is starting to improve in the WAC. But the much anticipated tip-off is just moments away. And as they say here in Orem, welcome to the Valley. Officially, the 2018-2019 season for the Wolverines is about to tip off. Bailey Steele, he looks like a samurai, a hipster samurai, I guess you could say, with his headband and his arm sleeves. He'll be a fun one to watch.
It's time for Wolverine basketball.
And Bailey Steele wins the tip-off. Isaiah White gives back to Ben DeQuasa. And they must have watched the Karate Kid in the offseason a handful of times. Got some Danielson looks with the headbands between the two. Connor Toulson pulls the trigger quickly. Rims off and a big rebound by the Griffins. In transition already. And this layup, Bailey Steele with the big rebound. He'll be doing lots of that down in the post. Errant pass tipped off for the Griffins will be a Wolverine throw.
And this pace of play is one thing that I was kind of looking for in kind of recognizing that there's only two guys that started last year. Ben started a few games as Brandon had a couple injuries last year, but if these guys can continue to play at the same pace that Coach Pope likes to have his teams go at.
Whistle's called down low. Looks like the foul is going to go against Alec Monson, the junior guard from Sandy, Utah. We got called a little bit too much action inside the post. Now Ben DeQuasa will inbound. 20 seconds on the shot clock. DeQuasa back to Toulson. Toulson's going to have a look himself. And Toulson cashes in from distance to start the scoring for Utah Valley. Pesky hands by DeQuasa. Still in Griffin possession. And that's a good look from the distance as well. Just inside the three-point line, Jacob McCord. That's a good-looking stroke. Connor Toulson. Hesitation. 15 on the shot clock. And they're going to call a foul against Ben DeQuasa. So two fouls, one against each team. And they're going to switch that and call a blocking foul. I beg your pardon. Both teams went down the court the other way because one official said one thing, then the other came in to override.
Yeah, Jonathan Eli tried to jump that ball screen early and anticipated it well, just didn't quite have his feet set there to get that charge and got the block going the other way.
So two early fouls against the Griffins. Utah Valley without the big post presence with Akolda Manyang and Isaac Nielsen as Ben DeQuasa pulls the trigger, misses. Are looking to try and find some rhythm. Right now they're going through that perimeter. Coach Pope loves those long distance calls.
Akolda Manyang with the big news this week,
absolutely.
Right? Got picked up by the
G
Cavaliers in the G League.
Jake Toulson with the big rebound. Ben DeQuasa in transition. Isaiah White charges and misses the layup. I think he thought about the dunk, maybe realized halfway he was a little bit too far, tried to lay it up and in. Couldn't connect, and still a one-point game. Griffins trying to take the lead. And it looks like Jake Connors' toes stepped right in front of new president of Utah Valley University. And also legendary head coach and former head coach of Coach Pope's championship University of Kentucky team, Rick Pitino, who's in the stands. And again, we do want to thank you for joining us on Amazon Fire, Roku TV, YouTube, Android TV, and especially on the WAC Digital Network. You can download the WAC Digital Network app and stream us on Amazon, Roku, and Android TV as well. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Good ball movement by the Griffins. Couldn't finish at the rim, however. And the Wolverines were in transition. Isaiah White calling for it. Connor Toulson again with the quick trigger. Isaiah White, nice rebound. Gives to Jake Toulson down low. Jake Toulson, all 5 points for Utah Valley early on.
Great unselfish play there by Isaiah. Obviously had a little jump hook to put that offensive rebound back in on his own, but look at the unselfish play, and Jake had a wide open layup.
Nice ball fake. He has a good look and cashes in from distance as Connor.
You can still kind of sense both teams trying to fill each other out, and again, this being the first home opener for Utah Valley and the first away game for Westminister, both teams trying to figure themselves out as well offensively.
Jake Toulson again calm and cool as you like, down low, finishing with that offhand. Kwasa struggling for time. Toulson 0 for 2 so far from beyond the arc. Isaiah White. Steele was open, wanted it. Kwasa shaking and baking his way to the rack. Griffins with another stop. Another look and another cashed in. This time Alec Monson. And the Griffins have a 3-point lead over Utah Valley.
That was the second time in transition where the Wolverines didn't quite get matched up. That's somewhere where Ben and then also with Connor needs to direct traffic down there to get guys matched up defensively.
Bailey Steele going up against former Utah Valley Wolverine, Jonas Tavnainen. Physically a big mismatch, and they're going to go at it again. Steele puts it on the floor. Rimmed off. Another look. And you can tell that Westminster starting to heat up from outside. Jay Connor settling in, getting very comfortable beyond the arc. And Coach Pope's going to call a timeout to think things over. Utah Valley down by 6. And we're going to take a quick break to try and wipe the sweat off of our brows. And we'll be right back from the UCCU Center after this.
You only need to answer one question. Will you accept the challenge to become? No matter where you are in life, no matter your interests, from award-winning accounting to marketing and entrepreneurship programs, there's a place for you at Utah Valley University. A place to engage, to rise, to succeed, to become.
What is it about the car shopping experience at Murdoch Hyundai that has everyone talking? Maybe it's the safety inspections or the car washes for life. It could be the price match guarantee, or maybe it's just the way you're treated. Come fall in love in Linden, Logan, and Murray at Murdoch Hyundai. Your no regrets dealer.
Jake Toulson on the bench getting some advice with his teammates from head coach Mark Pope. Jake Toulson, a three-pointer and a layup, and he has all 5 of Utah Valley's points early on. And Utah Valley trailing 11-5 as we begin right after that media timeout. Westminster getting hot from distance. This is their last bucket by Connor. Nice. Hey, we got a brand new camera. I like that, the hoop cam. Taking a look at that splashdown from Connor. Jay Connor, the redshirt senior from Salt Lake City, Utah. And that's how Westminster's going to try and stay in this game. They know that they can't play in the post, even though Bailey Steele hasn't connected from in the paint yet. But they know that they can pester, maybe pick off a couple balls from Utah Valley and hang in there in the perimeter side of things. That's how they're going to make their presence known. And number 2 does it again. 7 straight points for Jake Toulson. Making Gus proud at home. Jonas top 9 and with the step back. Nikwasa with the alley-oop. Bailey Steele catches. Goes right back up.
Yeah, what a catch by Bailey. That's so hard to do. You're running full speed underneath your own basket to catch that and gather it, then have the composure to finish the play. Terrific athleticism by Bailey.
Clock winding down with the kick out. Connor trying to draw the foul, doesn't get the call. Shot clock violation. Bailey Steele's going to take a seat. Connor McDougal, no relation to Connor McGregor, will check into the game. What? Go ahead.
No, I was going to mention that this rotation between the bigs is, again, another change that the Wolverines and us as viewers and fans are going to get used to. We're so used to seeing the Colton Manniang, Isaac Nilsson combo as Jake just comes up a little short. Terrific backdoor pass there by McDougal.
And that's one of the facets that Mark Pope loves about McDougal. He said his vision and his ability to pass the ball for a guy his size is absolutely fantastic. The Westminster continuing to pester Utah Valley. Jonas going up against his former teammate. This one intercepted quickly, going the other way. Washington draws the foul, and he'll go to the line. TJ Washington from Tulsa draws the contact, and he'll go to the charity stripe.
TJ Washington, an All-American junior college transfer. Again, between him and Ben Nikwasa, they have a pretty quick backcourt that they can go to, and a nice change of pace between Connor and Jake as well.
And Washington makes good of his first attempt. First free throw attempt for either squad. And Utah Valley trails by 1. Washington looking to tie. He misses. Again, Coach Pope with his former mentor and coach Rick Pitino in the stands. Rick Pitino making his rounds recently with a couple speaking engagements to local businesses and came by. Nice dish to Connor McDougal. McDougal gets fouled. Fouled by committee. And they're going to officially give the foul to Alec Monson. But yeah, head coach Pitino sitting on the sidelines here right across from Utah Valley's bench next to Leanne Pope, head coach, his wife. And McDougal's free throw is good.
You got to think Pitino's over there just asking himself why Mark Pope's lineup isn't pressing the entire game, something that Louisville and Kentucky and those other Pitino teams always prided themselves in, right? The toughest 40 minutes in basketball was always played on their home court because of the pressure and athleticism that they would get after those guys with.
And McDougal makes good of 2. Utah Valley retakes the lead 12-11. So pushing and shoving down low. This one looks like will go against Hayden Skank. And Hayden Skank, there's a guy with a remarkable comeback story. I mean, my goodness. The guy last year in the exhibition against Dixie State ripped up his knee, and the doctors pretty much said, good luck, buddy. We don't know if you'll ever play basketball again. And he, on his own, with a lot of help that he credits to some trainers, has come back, and look where he is, right there on the court.
Yeah, Hayden's in great shape. You can see, he just pure muscle out there, so he's ready to go. He had to think about the entire last year and what it could have been if he was out there on the court for his toughness that he brings. And already he's in there for 30 seconds and already picks up a foul because of his physicality.
Connor Toulson gets the crowd going. 15-11, Utah Valley. Coach Patino like that. You can see the camera doesn't have a really solid angle on him, but he is on the edge of his seat analyzing every play. You can tell. Westminster continuing to settle for those outside shots. Hasn't really made a mark in the post yet. Nice drive and dish. Yeah, here come the Griffins. Again, pulling up from distance. Rimmed off. And that'll be another Utah Valley media timeout. As Wolverines, they will go into this one up by 4 instead of being trailed. As we'll head to break, taking a look at this replay. Nice drive by Washington, the kick out. Connor Toulson cashes in his first 3 of the season.
I hate math. I can't count how many times I've heard people say that. And as a math teacher, I take it personally. So, while working on my master's at UVU, I developed ways to help kids not hate math. Does engaged learning make a difference? You do the math.
Eyes on me! I'm Mark Pope, coach of the UVU men's basketball team. I want to thank Carlos Iglesias and Ken Garf Volkswagen for being a great friend of Utah Valley University athletics, basketball, volleyball, and everything else.
Thanks, Coach. We're proud to support a great program like Utah Valley University Sports. We wish the Wolverines a fantastic season.
You can thank Carlos, too, by visiting their new dealership today, Ken Garf Volkswagen. We hear you.
Utah Valley marketing doing their best to get people in the seats tonight for the home opener. Got some fun stuff planned at halftime. And right now, Utah Valley up 15-11 after trailing early, 11-5. Jake Toulson got things going, scoring the first 7 points for Utah Valley. But after that, it's been a couple of buckets by Connor Toulson and Bailey Steele. And we've seen a handful of new faces out on the court as well.
What really got the Wolverines going there that, last 4 minutes was just forcing turnovers and then also getting stops defensively and taking those defensive rebounds and quickly getting it up the floor. We mentioned TJ Washington's ability to cover ground. He takes, 2 or 3 dribbles for just a little guy, covers a lot of ground in a hurry and does a great job of getting his teammates involved in transition and just passes the ball so freely.
Connor McDougal. I think they're going to call him for a travel.
Yeah, it was tough to see when he actually gathered himself. There were so many hands involved. I didn't know if he had total possession of the ball there for the travel, but
pesky hands for Utah Valley. Connor Toulson with the breakaway and the flush. That's something you don't see from Connor every day. This shot by Westminster. An acrobatic attempt at that by Alec Monson. And Monson on the other end, nice save. Westminster trying to settle it down. It looks like Wyatt Lowell is going to get called for the foul.
Wyatt Lowell is first.
Connor Toulson's got some ups.
He's very sneaky athletic. You can see when he jumps in his jump shot, there's no one in the gym with him that can get a hand up on that jump shot of his, so he has great spring and bounce in those legs and doesn't get a whole lot of open court chances to display it for a dunk.
Quick inbound pass by the Griffins. Trying to get that ball movement and a travel. Jacob McCord on the outside. Jacob McCord, the pride of Kalua, Hawaii. We're about halfway through the first half of the 2018-2019 season for Utah Valley versus Westminster. McDougal working on the post. And another foul on Jacob McCord.
You can already tell between Bailey Still and McDougal there on the post. Wolverines very comfortable giving them the ball and giving them space to operate, especially against the size of Westminster.
There's a distance from Lowell. Hey, Wyatt Lowell from Richardson, Texas, cashes in. Since that first timeout called by Coach Pope, Utah Valley has been on a tear. 15 straight points. Wyatt Lowell, for a fella his size, good elevation and good extension. Good form as he holds that wrist up.
Terrific follow through and arc on that ball for a guy that's listed at 6'10".
You know, it's kind of funny. We're so used to Colton Manyang last year and Isaac Nielsen that he is listed at 6'10", but he looks like he's 6'6".
And from the way he plays primarily on the perimeter.
Hayden Skank, his first bucket, comes up short. Big rebound, would have counted. McDougal, you can tell he's an aggressive guy. He attacks that rim hard.
And different from what the Wolverines had last year, McDougal brings a lot of physicality and that energy and passion that he plays with. You know, he's going to bump and bruise a lot of guys in that painted area, which when it gets, you know, late season whack play, they're going to need that a lot. They're going to need his physical play and rebounding, and it'll be fun to see his development here.
McDougal still shooting 50%. Another solid rebound by Isaiah White. .20 on the clock for Utah Valley. Toulson. That is just pure money for Jake Toulson. And he's already in double digits.
And nothing's ever forced. These guys pass the ball so freely in and out of the post, which is extremely rare. There's usually some point in the offense where the ball just sticks. And for the Wolverines tonight, they've moved the ball openly and easy to everybody.
And another turnover. Utah Valley has numbers. Toulson pulls it back. Washington wants it this time. Rimmed out. Westminster could use a bucket. Been scoreless last 5 minutes, and right on cue, kiss off the glass. Brandon Moore coming off of that double-digit team-leading performance against that loss against BYU last week. That'll stay Utah Valley possession.
Great hustle there by James Walljasper, trying to chase that one out of bounds, and good hands to get it out of Isaiah White.
I can't wait for the lineup where you have Bailey Steele and McDougal out on the court at the same time. Steele checks back in, so does Naquasa.
Just brings me back to the Mighty Ducks days. What were those two brothers' names? That
the Bash Brothers?
The Bash Brothers down low in the post.
Here comes Westminster in transition. Pull back the reins. The Griffins working. Good screen by Jonas. And Kwasa comes up with the rebound. Isaiah White in transition. Kick out to Washington. Good ball movement by the Wolverines. Nice, easy finish at the rim. 26-13, Utah Valley. Jonas Topinainen against Jake Toulson. Good post move, tipped away. They're going to say the last ball was tipped off of Jonas Topinainen. But Utah Valley enjoying 26-13 lead as we have less than 7 to go in this first half. You're watching UVU basketball right here on UVU TV.
I decided to go to college to further my education and define my purpose in the world and be a part of something much bigger than myself.
I wanted to set up the best possible future for myself, both academically and athletically. I try to learn from everyone, whether that be professors, my teammates, or other student athletes.
I try to see everyone as an opportunity to learn. Everyone has a story to tell, and I think there's a moral and something you can learn from it.
Members of the Den, which is what Utah Valley student section is called, would love to have something like this to do every Tuesday. Tuesday, very mundane in the student world, but they're enjoying their Wolverines with a 26-13 lead over Westminster and the Griffins. Right before half, we showed you a couple of highlights. Right now, the leading scorer in the whole contest, Jake Toulson, who already has double digits, 10 points. And an interesting note, right now, Holton, 7 different Wolverine players have scored so far.
Which is very consistent with how Coach Pope's teams have done. I went back through the stats last year to see what was coming back and the point totals that were coming back. And, you know, the leading scorer on the team last year was Connor Toulson, and he only averaged about 12.5 points a game. And that's a team that averaged nearly 85 points a night. And so, characteristic of Coach Pope's teams, they share the ball well. There's not a single guy out there with an agenda trying to get his number. And so they're very bought into the team concept. And because of that, you know, a lot of guys can get involved in the game and they can have a lot of fun playing the game.
Isaiah White draws the contact and he'll go to the line. And I think they're going to call that one against number 25, Jonathan Eli.
Nice job by Isaiah White on the drive to initiate the contact. He felt that the defender was just a little bit trailing behind him and took that momentum against the defender and drew the foul and got to the free throw line.
White continues to be consistent at the free throw line. It's his 3rd point. And makes that 2 for 2 this trip around. Pride of Rancho Cucamonga, California. Westminster still maintains possession. Ball scrummed all over the floor. Great hustle by Jake Toulson to come away with it. Washington, alley-oop. And the crowd wanted that one really bad.
A terrific look up the court. Look at the hustle there by Jake Toulson again. One of the leaders coming back on the team, and Isaiah White just unable to gather. I thought they were going to get a foul call there. It looked like the defender walked under him. Luckily, Isaiah White didn't get clipped on there and didn't have a hard fall after.
Connor with the kick out. And another good stroke. Travis Devagere. Don't ask me to say that 3 times fast.
All the points for Westminister primarily came from the outside. That's their 4th made 3-point shot as we get Jake coming up just a little short on a 3-point shot of his own.
Connor trying to make it back-to-back. Westminster comes up short, and more ball movement very quickly. Jake Toulson gets called for the travel. He's not happy about that one. Bendequassa gave him a little no-look. 28-16, Utah Valley on top. Brandon Crow alongside Holden Hunsaker. Thank you for letting us be a part of your Tuesday evening. It's election day across the country. It's nice to unwind with a little basketball. And another 3-pointer, this one Chantry Ross. And I want to venture out and say that 90% of Westminster's points have been from beyond the arc.
And they have been, and credit to them for sticking with it, noticing that, or recognizing that they don't have the size to compete down low with the Wolverines. Is a terrific strip there.
Great body control by James Waljasper. Draws the foul, and he'll go to the line amidst some boos from the home crowd. But tip your hats off to him. Great hustle, like you said, off that strip on the other side. Draws the contact off of Bendequassa.
Yeah, that was Chantry Ross that got the Griffins going in transition. And just something Bailey Still recognizing, and what he's taught all the time is a big post player. You never want to bring that ball down to give those little guys a chance to get their hand in there.
Connor Toulson checks back in for Utah Valley. A couple teammates fighting over the same rebound as Waljasper misses both. 28-19, less than 5 to play in the first frame. Bendequassa thought about it. Connor Toulson trying to find Bailey Steele. Instead, Connor will take it himself. Toulson for 2.
That's something Connor does so well off of those down screens. He can curl it tight if his guy's trailing him, and when he gets a lot of those corner threes just off a fade when a guy tries to cheat the screen, as Jonas gets a nice little jump hook to go off of that left block.
(30-21). Lead now single digits for Utah Valley. Bailey Steele at the top of the key. He doesn't look very comfortable there. This one rims off, and Isaiah White has lost his shoe. Shoeless White. And the referee will call a timeout to get the Cinderella slipper back into its rightful owner. And they're going to take this opportunity for an immediate timeout. So as Isaiah White puts his shoe back on, Connor Toulson starting to find his groove offensively. Utah Valley on top, 30-23. Willie the Wolverine, Mario, and Luigi getting the crowd pumped up during the break there. Had a Mario Kart race at midcourt. Is highly entertaining for the students here. And something that's also entertaining is Utah Valley being on top 30-23, and Westminster's not going away.
No, they continue to shoot the ball well from the perimeter. Again, as you mentioned, nearly 90% of their points coming from the three-point line. The Griffins right now shooting 5 of 12 from that three-point line, 9 of 22 overall, and just trail the Wolverines by 7 as we go into this final 4 minutes of the first half.
Utah Valley brand new president. She is making her rounds. I think she has gone to every single one of Utah Valley's sporting events.
Wow.
President Jimenez she said publicly, she's like, I'm not too familiar with sports, but I'm going to go out and support the students. And so she has, and I know the students have loved it, all the teams have loved it, and she's publicly tweeted out several times that she continues to get inspired by all the different athletic competitions that the Wolverines compete in. And President Jimenez has done a fantastic job in her short tenure.
A rare turnover there for the Wolverines. Only 4 turnovers on the game so far compared to the Griffins' 8, as we get a terrific hustle again by Connor Toulson and a forced jump ball between him and Jake Connor. As we see Connor not just standing back, letting Jake Connor be comfortable for the Griffins, has got his hand there on that ball.
14 on the clock, and this one tipped. I believe it went off Jonas Top-Niner from Westminster.
You can continue to hear Coach Pope adamantly trying to get his guys in the right positions. As so early on in the season, you try to make sure guys know where they're going on for each play and how to move off of each other, as McDougal just a little long. But again, Isaiah White picking up his 4th offensive rebound and 6th rebound overall.
He has those long arms. He comes in, just grabs it, doesn't give it up, and it'll be his 4th time going to the free throw line.
And smart play. He kind of felt guys around him and felt arms trying to get on that basketball. So if you just go up and get contact, it's going to go the offensive player's way as he gets that free throw to go down.
TJ Washington.
4 points, 1 of 3 from the floor, and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. And Isaiah White continues to be consistent at the charity stripe. And as the season continues to progress, that's something that Coach Pope is definitely going to continue to look for, is his consistency to attack the rack and to find success at the charity stripe. And another rebound after Jonas Top-Niner's miss for Westminster. Toulson, White, Washington, keep it himself, finger roll off the glass. McDougal scoops it up from behind. He gets fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
How strong is he? Jonas is not a little guy out there for those Wolverine fans that got to see him play the last couple of years. And McDougal kind of just bouncing off of guys as he picked up this rebound and was able to almost finish that through Jonas Taviana's contact.
McDougal struggling to find that consistency at the charity stripe so far. Makes his 4th. Utah Valley lead back up to 10, 33-23. 2:04 to left to play in the first. Westminster, good post move. Stripped away and then tipped back out by the Griffins.
Yeah, Jake McCord had the right idea as the double team came and saw his teammate wide open on the other block and just couldn't corral it in to make the play.
Nice back look pass, Jake Toulson, and he finds a finger roll touch to lay it in. Toulson's he's really improved his game, and he is really becoming a fun player to watch.
He picks his moments so well to do that backdoor cut as defender kind of gets lulled to sleep to the handoff, gets used to seeing the handoff over and over again, and he'll surprise you with that backdoor cut and gets guys time and time again with it.
It's a nice pull-up jump shot just inside the arc there. Travis DeVageray, senior from Sandy, Utah, not too far away. Connor Toulson with the left-hand runner. More three-point opportunities being passed up for looks in the paint. And Isaiah White with the outlet pass to Connor Toulson. Pull-up trigger in transition. Connor Toulson starting to really feel it now.
Connor missed those first two, but again, he led the WAC last year in three-point percentage. You can see why as he gets heated up, he can hit from anywhere.
And a nice follow by Jake McCord in the paint. 40-27, Utah Valley on top. And about a half-second maybe differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Utah Valley's going to let it play all the way down. 10. Wide open layup. They'll take that all day. 3 seconds. And Westminster, no good as the buzzer sounds. Utah Valley will go into the half. 42-27. It was a shaky start, Holton, but Utah Valley found their balance and came right back and found their stride.
There's a lot of new players. There's a whole new offense they got to learn. There's a lot of adjustments to be made, and for the first half of basketball to put up 42 points against a Westminster defense that rotates extremely well, doesn't have the size, but they have the discipline behind it. So not a bad first half of basketball to get this season started.
And now we are going to introduce our third member of our broadcast crew, Alexa O'Neill.
The team to really spark the lead, get the guys going.
Well, we got a little gassed early on. The first 4 minutes is still new to us, so the guys got a little fatigued. We gave up some open shots. They had 3 threes in the first 4 minutes, 3 made threes, which is a problem for us, and they were open. We made some substitutions. The guys kind of got their legs on them, and we played well for a stretch. And then we kind of lost our defensive principles for another 3 or 4 minute stretch. Westminster's a good team. Coach does a great job coaching them. And for us, it's just about, can we guard every single second of every single possession? If we get there, we have a chance to become a good team.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Alexa. Great job. And we're going to be seeing Alexa all season long. She'll be our third member of the broadcast team right here at home. Again, Utah Valley enjoying a 42-27 lead at the break. And lots of Connor Toulson and some flurries of offense. Isaiah White showing his presence. Bailey Steele and company. It's going to be a fun season. And we got a second half right after this here on UVU TV.
Did you know that over 43 million Americans struggle with mental health problems annually?
43 million.
That's 1 in 5 adults.
Did you know that there's 1 death by suicide in the United States every 12 minutes?
Did you know that suicide takes the lives of over 40,000 Americans each year?
Over 40,000 mothers,
fathers,
daughters,
sons, brothers,
sisters, and friends
Did you know that you can help reverse this trend?
If you or someone you know is struggling with mental illness, don't keep it to yourself.
Looking to spend that birthday money, Tyler? I'm just not sure which one to get. Well, they are both pretty cool. But saving some of that money would be pretty cool too. Yep.
When's the right age to teach your children how to save and spend money wisely? Right now, with the Be Money Smart program only at Utah Community Credit Union. Inspiring smart decisions.
In 2009, there was a tsunami that struck Samoa on this very location that we're sitting on, where several of those that are in this village, most of the lives that were taken were lost right here in Lalomanu. And it was a sad day. As we heard about the devastation here in Samoa, we felt like as a team that we wanted to be able to see what we can do to be able to help out. We started with the goal of trying to bring a 20-foot container of supplies that could help with some of the families in the various villages that were affected. And we were just overwhelmed with support and donations and ended up bringing a 40-foot container.
We brought 2 containers this year, and this is the first time we've ever brought 2. We're pretty excited about it. We had such generous donors back in the States. And what we would do at UVU is we'd pack them all into these boxes and we'd stack these pallets 7 feet high, and we'd wrap them and we'd put them into the container. And then we came here and we were unloading them. We didn't really know what we were doing with this stuff until we got to go to Pisenga and the victim support group.
The victim support group that we went to was a very humbling experience, I would say. It was just a bunch of children, boys and girls, who had been mistreated by some family members, and so they had gone there to live and to stay.
I think I could speak for most of the girls that it was probably like the coolest thing ever. We got to paint their nails, the girls' nails, and we got to give them gifts that other people from back home had made for them, and it was so sweet seeing them because all of them just appreciated us so much and they needed so much love from us, and it was just so cute to hang out with them and play games and give our love to them as well.
And I remember when we're saying bye to them, the girls just started singing this goodbye song to me, and I think it was so great to see how grateful they were for us just being there, and the service that we were giving them has really impacted me more than anything.
It just really showed me that all the work that we were doing in Utah, when we were like, what are we doing? What is this for? You don't really have a perspective until you come here and you see what you're actually doing with this stuff.
I think that I have definitely taken a lot of things that I have in my life for granted, and coming here, my eyes have been opened. I think that I knew that was going to happen, but you don't really understand it until you come here and you actually get to experience it for yourself.
Sam is such a giving person, and I think that it's cool to see his ideas come to life being here on this trip. It's awesome to see all the people he knows, and he comes here every year, so even little kids would recognize him and just run up to him as soon as they see him because they know the kind of person that he is and how giving he is.
My coach is very good at thinking of others and just serving wherever he can, and I feel like that's something that I don't naturally do. And so that's something I've definitely learned from this trip, is to look for ways to serve those around me in any way that I can.
This team right here, they're very hardworking and caring for one another, and so I hope that with some of these experiences that we've had will help them be able to just continue to do that and thinking of others first.
Wait, you got one of those insurance apps too? You know how this thing works?
No, sorry. Not an app, it's my agent.
In this moment,
No, I'm fine, thanks.
it's good to know you have a trusted, independent auto owner's insurance agent who's there when you need them.
Great. Man, I gotta get one of those.
Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
They say the devil is in the details. And in here, there are a lot of details. Flavor, color, texture, temperature, presentation. It all has to be flawless. Pressure? Maybe. But with engaged learning, I get a lot of practice. And I'll bet your homework never tasted this good.
Eyes on me. I'm Mark Pope, coach of the UVU men's basketball team. I want to thank Carlos Iglesias and Kengar Volkswagen for being a great friend of Utah Valley University athletics, basketball, volleyball, and everything else.
Thanks, Coach. We're proud to support a great program like Utah Valley University Sports. We wish the Wolverines a fantastic season.
You can thank Carlos too by visiting their new dealership today, Kengar Volkswagen. We hear you.
There is so much to celebrate in life, from the smallest of hands to the victories of youth and precious occasions with family and friends, sharing unforgettable moments. Continue accomplishing your goals and celebrate success at Utah Valley University. Apply by August 1st for fall semester.
(42-27) is your score at halftime. Utah Valley is on top after trailing early on in this game. It was a little scare for some of these Wolverine fans here. Brandon Crow alongside Holton Hunsaker, thanking you for letting us be a part of your Tuesday evening here on UVU TV and the WAC Sports Digital Network. Holton, there was a lot of good that came out of that in first half after that quick little scare at the beginning.
Yeah, and it was really the two guys, Jake and Connor, who this team's going to lean on all season. The leadership in the locker room, leadership on the court that really stepped up and got these guys going. And it was really Jake, who offense was kind of non-existent for the team, but Jake got himself going and made the first 7 points of the game.
Connor Toulson was named the preseason first team All-WAC. And as far as preseason media polls go, Utah Valley was picked to finish third.
And that's, you know, as I looked at the poll and I listened to Coach Pope's comments, his comment was, it's fake news. These guys believe that they should be picked first. The only other team that has two players picked first team and second team in the All-WAC honors was New Mexico State, and they are picked first. And so as far as players and personnel, Utah Valley is going to compete for that top spot all season long.
It will be a fun competition, as it always is. Now, the WAC is one conference in the United States that continues to grow, and other conferences and other people have noticed that as well. We'll be right back with the second half right after this here on UVU TV and the WAC Sports Digital Network.
People talk about college like you're in some kind of bubble. Like there's college, and then there's the real world. Hey, this is UVU. You're not just reading about it or watching someone else do it. This is engaged learning. At the certificate, associate's, bachelor's, or master's level, you're in the real world every day.
Welcome back to the UCCU Center. Welcome back to the Valley, as they say, as the cool kids say these days. Utah Valley on top 42-27. As as we begin this second half. Right now, the PA announcer is just addressing the fact that head coach Rick Pitino, Hall of Fame head coach Rick Pitino, and former head coach for Utah Valley's head coach Mark Pope back in the day in 1996 when they won the championship with Kentucky. He is here, and we're trying to see if his busy schedule will allow him some time to come and chat with us here on air. That would be highly beneficial for some Wolverine fans to get some insight on exactly how Coach Pope was when he played. But he's getting an ovation here from the crowd. And right now, as Utah Valley settles in and gets ready for the second half, you're looking at some stats. What stood out to you in that first half?
Well, again, we mentioned Jake and Connor Toulson so often. They both have 12 points and are leading the way for the Wolverines. But what I was impressed with was Isaiah White's ability to get to get after the rebounding game. He has 4 offensive and 4 defensive rebounds already, and looking at a double-double himself with 6 points to go along with that. And then now we're a little spoiled. We get this plus-minus statistic now with our new stat sheet, and it's been Connor McDougal and TJ Washington off the bench who have really been the game changers. They both have plus-minuses of 21 and 18 respectively. Then for the Griffins on the other end of the basketball, it's been Jake, Connor, and Travis Devashery on the other side who've been filling it up from the three-point line. And those guys, again, 5 of 13 from the three-point line as a team, and only trail the Wolverines now by 15 after a last 2-minute spurt by the Wolverines to end that first half.
Your leading scorer for the first half, there are 2, and they're both from Utah Valley. And coincidentally enough, they're both the players that were highlighted for Utah Valley, the Toulson cousins, Jake and Connor, with 12. As Connor attacks the rack, and that ball is tipped and bounced all over and out of play, and it'll be a Griffin possession. Utah Valley defense working down the Griffins. Nice inlet pass. Bailey Steele keeping his composure. Long distance connection is good again for Westminster. Alec Monson.
Nice extra pass by Jacob McCord, who had position down low, but again, kind of just recognizing the situation personnel-wise with giving up a few inches to Bailey down low. Nice extra pass to perimeter for the 3.
Connor Toulson with the give and go to Bailey Steele. The Metropolis Marvel flies to the rack for 2.
A terrific find by Connor, again coming off of that down screen, a little tight curl, and forced the help by Bailey's guy and Jacob McCord, and made him make a decision, left it wide open for the alley-oop.
Good hesitation and fake down low, and they're going to call an offensive foul. Jake Toulson took the pressure.
Jake doing a great job of anticipating that by McCord as we get another look at Bailey Steele and Connor hooking up on the other end. One more look at it from the new above the rim sky cam. But again, Jake doing a great job defensively of anticipating it and getting his feet set early so he could draw the charge.
Can't tell you how cool that camera angle is. It's one of my favorite camera angles in all of sports. As Ben Nakwasa hits a 3 as well. That one in the pylon cam when you're watching a football game. So mad props to this Utah Valley staff here at UVU TV, putting in extra cameras, trying to get you the best angles at home. Utah Valley on top, 47-30. Make that 47-33. Jacob Eli cashes in. Isaiah White. Connor Toulson with the quick trigger and an answer, a little bit long. Bailey Steele and Jake Toulson going up for it and bumping into each other, coming down hard. And I think a foul is called away from the ball against Westminster.
Jake Connor with a little bit of a heat check there on the other end. That was a Steph Curry range three-point attempt by him as Westminister continues to fill it up from the three-point line.
Connor Toulson to Isaiah White. White with the kick out to Jake Toulson. Jake Toulson calling for the screen. Carves his way around defenders, gives away to a dashing Isaiah White who finishes, and that gets a nod of approval for head coach Rick Pitino on the far side.
Nice job by Isaiah to continue to move without the basketball as Jake kind of had that ball in his hand for the majority of the possession, but Isaiah not give it up on the play.
This ball signaled off of Westminster. And Jake Toulson again, composure, awareness, finds Isaiah White, who never stops, with a nice easy finish.
The ball fake's not going to get the defender. Jake has all the facial expressions you can see there with the ball.
We know babies can't talk, but they can communicate with their faces. Maybe he's learning something from little Gus.
That's right.
Jake Toulson showing off his strength with the right-hand finish. Bailey Steele almost got a piece of that one. Nice layup in the paint by the Griffins. 51-35 now. As a couple fresh legs are set to check in for Utah Valley. Jake Toulson wants the long distance shot. Isaiah White, the hustle points. Another kick out. Here's another opportunity, Jake, and he won't miss twice in a row. Jake Toulson, another three-pointer.
And Isaiah has seen that too many times in practice. As soon as that ball left Jake's hand, Isaiah was already to half court knowing that was going in.
Jake Toulson trying to find some defensive prowess. Can't stop Brandon War on that one, though. Brandon War tacks on two more for not only him, but for his team. 4 points total. Bailey Steele calling for it in the post. I believe the foul that'll take us to break was on Jacob McCord. Should be his second. Nice kick out. Isaiah White to Jake Toulson. Jake Toulson flirting with 20 points. Utah Valley on top.
Utah has embodied the spirit of industry. From the first transcontinental railroad to the first department store, we've led the way. As part of the Murdoch Auto team, we're proud to carry on this tradition. That's because when we say you are the heart of our business, it's more than just a slogan. It's our commitment to the values we all hold dear with no regrets. You've got to come see why you truly are the heart of our business. Murdoch Hyundai of Linden, part of the Murdoch Auto team. Click MurdochHyundaiLinden.com.
Looking to spend that birthday money, Tyler? I'm just not sure which one to get. Well, they are both pretty cool. But saving some of that money would be pretty cool too. Yep.
When's the right age to teach your children how to save and spend money wisely? Right now, with the Be Money Smart program only at Utah Community Credit Union. Inspiring smart decisions.
Willie the Wolverine congratulating some collegiates fighting out with the pillows. There was an intense pillow fight going on between those students. Utah Valley on top, 54-37. Getting some of these students excited. Coach Pope getting his team excited as well. Jake Toulson, you see the facial expressions, talking with his assistant coach Fieger. Jake Toulson leads all scorers right now, 17 points, 7 for 11 from the floor. 3 of 6, 50% right now from the three-point distance land area. And Jake Toulson again coming into this season knew that he was in one of the best conditions, best shape that he said he's ever been in, mentally and physically. And I may be biased, but there are some people that might have picked him to be, when it's all said and done, the WAC Player of the Year. And fingers are pointing at myself.
And rightfully so, and that's because Jacobs is such a great kid as well. Not as good a basketball player he is, he's just as good a person off the court, and so it's hard not to root for Jake and everything that he does.
Sneaky fingers, Bendakwasa. Nice layup. 56-37, Utah Valley on top. Another steal by Nakwasa. Isaiah White contains himself. Connor McDougal with the touch.
We've mentioned Isaiah White's rebounding, but that is assist number 5 by Isaiah White as he continues to use those offensive rebounds, use those long arms to get other people involved. And on that time, a nice drive. And again, Wolverines looking at a 21-point lead as we take this one into the 14-minute media timeout.
You only need to answer one question.
Will you accept the challenge to become? It doesn't matter your situation in life.
No matter your interest.
Whether your first choice or second chance.
There's a place for you.
Place for you. Place for you at UVU. Place to engage, to rise, to succeed.
To become.
Ben Nakwasa, the pesky-handed Ben, had his hand on a couple steals that gave way to some breakout points for Utah Valley, including this one. He taps it up right there. Nice give by Connor McDougal, and Nakwasa floats it in for the easy layup. It must be the headband or the dreads, I don't know.
Maybe that would have helped me out, and I could have glided through the air in that regard. Just wasn't aerodynamic enough without the headband, but that was a very athletic backcourt between TJ Washington, Ben Nakwasa, and then once Hayden gets healthy again, Hayden has a lot of point guard experience for this Wolverines, and his athleticism as well and physicality brings a lot to the backcourt.
Shot clock continuing to wind down for Westminster. Good spin move, draws the contact. Brandon Ward will go to the line to shoot 2.
In the past few possessions for Westminster, you can kind of see this 3-man game where they'll get a guy in the high post and 2 guys in the blocks that'll pick for each other, and that action distracts the big guy from helping over. Let's ultimately give Ward the open lane against Jake there to draw the contact.
Ward connects on his first, trying to find 2 in a row. Comes up a little bit short. Rebounded by Utah Valley. Washington to Nakwasa. Nakwasa comes up a little bit short. Hits the front rim, and now here comes Westminster. (58-38). 20-point lead for Utah Valley. Eli goes left, drives. Kick out pass. Doesn't fall through. Rebounded by Lowell. Mark Pope encouraging his team to get that pace back up. Jake Toulson with that three-pointer hits the 20-point mark on this game. Jake Toulson just as cool as a cucumber in a bowl of hot sauce.
And that's just too much room. As you can see, War going underneath the handoff, and that's what Jake and Connor both live off of. They can't wait for that guy to go underneath the screen or underneath the handoff, and any room they get on the perimeter. Again, they both have basically unlimited range, and so you got to stay on them defensively and fight over top of those screens, because you can see the damage that they've done tonight because of it.
And speaking with Mark Pope coming into this game, in regards to Hayden Skank, you mentioned him just a few minutes ago. Coach Pope is still a little bit leery of having Hayden play, even though Hayden says he's good to go. It's first minutes of action really in over a year. And he said, Coach Pope said that in that exhibition against Dixie State, he wanted to call a timeout like every 5 seconds to bring him out. And there's a three-pointer from Wyatt Lowell. Wyatt Lowell, the big man, showing he can connect as he's 2 for 2 on the night from distance.
Yeah, going back to Hayden, his incident last year where, again, as you mentioned during that Dixie State exhibition game, where nothing out of the ordinary, just kind of was driving to his right-hand side and planted, and a nice backdoor cut and pass by Tavanainen. But again, it was such a freak thing, and you know, it wasn't the first time Hayden has had knee issues, and so you know, you kind of respect Coach Pope and probably looking beyond Hayden's basketball career and just life and the ability or his endurance of his knees, as we see McDougal again flexing his muscles, able to once again go through Jonas Tavanainen for the and one.
Wyatt Lowell with a nice pass on the outlet. McDougal showing off that strength. And a beautiful look right there at his face and the determination from the over-the-head cam. We got to find a name. We're going to go through a bunch of different names. If there's no sponsorship tied to that, we got to come up with some clever names. We might take to Twitter and see what the Wolverine fans have to say as far as naming that sky cam, rim cam, the slam cam. There's one. Okay. Slam cam is high possibility. Less than 12 to play. 67-42, Utah Valley on top comfortably in what many believed would be a comfortable victory, but still Westminster not going away. Under 12 media timeout. And we'll take a break and be back right after this.
Eyes on me. I'm Mark Pope, coach of the UVU men's basketball team. I want to thank Carlos Iglesias and Ken Garth Volkswagen for being a great friend of Utah Valley University athletics, basketball, volleyball, and everything else.
Thanks, Coach. We're proud to support a great program like Utah Valley University Sports. We wish the Wolverines a fantastic season.
You can thank Carlos, too, by visiting their new dealership today, Ken Garth Volkswagen. We hear you.
People talk about college like you're in some kind of bubble. Like there's college, and then there's the real world. Hey, this is UVU. You're not just reading about it or watching someone else do it. This is engaged learning. At the certificate, associate's, bachelor's, or master's level, you're in the real world every day.
Utah Valley getting some coaching at the break, and the coaching that they have been receiving over the past 4 years under the tenure of head coach Mark Pope seems to be doing a great job. Again, in the offseason, Utah Valley making a couple changes. And last season, of course, continuing to improve with their RPI climbing and with their KenPom.com rankings as well. Winning, I believe it was the school record over 20-plus games last year. And they have one of the nation's longest active home winning streaks at 15, and they're going to improve that to 16 here tonight, barring some crazy, miraculous comeback by Westminster. But lots of positive things happening here in the UCCU Center.
And speaking to what he's done, I guess, to get the community involved as well for, a home opener against Westminster. And, Wolverines are up 25 right now, and no one's leaving their seats. Everyone's sticking around for the game. A great student crowd as they're cheering on their classmates and team in the Wolverines. And again, as you mentioned, what Coach Pope has done and how he treats his players and gets the players to buy into his program and what he does. These guys play extremely hard for him, and they only have positive things to say about their experience with Coach Pope.
Isaiah White, he's got like honey on his hands sticking to everything out there. Jake Toulson, El Capitan. Give and go, nice backdoor finish to Isaiah White.
That might give Isaiah his double-double, as that's his 10th point of the game. I know he's flirting, trying to find that 10th rebound. Might have already got it. Jonas Tavanainen working down low against McDougal. Gets that right-handed hook to go.
Less than 11 to play. Swatted from behind by Brandon Ward. They're going to call a foul, saying there is some contact. We'll see exactly who it goes on, and they're going to give it to Brandon Ward. Comes in just from behind. It looked like you got all ball to me. TJ Washington makes the first free throw. TJ Washington with that free throw has 4 points on the evening. Not shooting as well from the floor as he would like. 0 for 1. They seem to be 1 for 4, 0 for 1 from 3. And makes that 2 for 4. Nice rebound, however, by McDougal. McDougal is somebody that if you're ever lacking in energy, then you can just hover around him, and it's almost like a gravitational pull.
Get another glimpse of Hayden Skank out there. You can see his pressure against Jake Connor, or against the Griffins. And a nice,
great finish.
Scoop and finish there by Jonathan Eli.
Eli with a nice spin move. Gets contact by McDougal, and Connor Toulson still finds a way to finesse the ball into the hoop. And he finishes the three-point play. Eli now with 10 points on the evening. Wolverines continuing that pressure, especially on the perimeter. Hayden Skank. Kick out. Washington for 3.
Nice drive and find by Hayden Skank as Coach Pope preaches, get into the paint and find someone outside to dish it to, because that defense is going to collapse, and these guys do a great job of it.
Less than 10 to play, 75-47. And Brandon Ward starting to heat things up himself. As he's flirting now with double digits.
Kind of sense the Wolverines kind of slowing the ball up the court. And again, Hayden finding an open three, just a little long there for Jake.
Now the Griffins come the other way. And a long three-pointer falls through for Chantry Ross. Chantry Ross doubles his point total. 6 points. 2 for 4 from the floor, and both of those shots three-pointers. Connor Toulson. Great look. That's high percentage from Connor Toulson.
And a terrific screen by McDougal. We've mentioned his physicality and what he's going to bring on the defensive end, but his ability to screen, and if he can buy into that with free up a lot of shots for all of his teammates if you get a knife.
Jake Connor on the other end.
The offhand there by Connor.
McDougal grabs it, gets contact, still puts it up. Bailey Steele on Utah Valley bench wanted an and one call. Ref signals play on. Now Eli in trouble on the other end, and he gets called. Looks like Connor McDougal is called for the foul. TJ Washington will head to the bench, gets a handshake and a high five from coach as well as Connor McDougal. Benequasa rechecks in, and Richard Harward, who Coach Poe could not stop talking and gushing about the progress that Richard Harward has had over the weekend as I spoke with him. As a whistle's called before the shot, and Benequasa is called for the foul. But Richard Harward is somebody who he said has worked tirelessly in the offseason and has improved his skill and ability tenfold from last year.
Richard, a kid that grew up just about 3 or 4 minutes down the road, went to Orem High School, and takes a lot of pride in being here at Utah Valley, and takes that pride and passion into his work ethic, and deserves that praise by Coach Pope.
Jake Toolson gets fouled pretty hard underneath the hoop. Not too sure Jake's happy about that. But they're gonna have a little second to take a breather and think about it before he goes to the free throw line. Utah Valley on top big, 79-54 on UVU TV.
Did you know that over 43 million Americans struggle with mental health problems annually?
43 million.
That's 1 in 5 adults.
Did you know that there's 1 death by suicide in the United States every 12 minutes?
Did you know that suicide takes the lives of over 40,000 Americans each year?
Over 40,000 mothers,
fathers,
daughters,
sons, brothers,
sisters, and friends.
Did you know that you can help reverse this trend?
If you or someone you know is struggling with mental illness, don't keep it to yourself.
What is it about the car shopping experience at Murdoch Hyundai that has everyone talking? Maybe it's the safety inspections or the car washes for life. It could be the price match guarantee, or maybe it's just the way you're treated. Come fall in love in Linden, Logan, and Murray at Murdoch Hyundai. Your no regrets dealer.
Utah Valley Wolverines on top of the Westminster Griffins, 79-54. Don't be frightened, kids. That's not a ghost, even though Halloween's over. That is just an ice cream cone. The Culver's logo. Having a good time with Willie the Wolverine and company here. And for good reason. Utah Valley coming out in the home opener and putting on a show offensively for these fans and doing something that the fans expected them to do. And in the back of some people's minds, maybe they had a fear that they might not be able to do it. But coming out against a team like this, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and that's a great point. I mean, as we look ahead, and not to get too far ahead in the broadcast, but as we got BYU Friday night, St. Mary's on Sunday, then you have Westminster as your home opener. It's tough to get up for that game and not overlook them. And so as you mentioned, taking care of business and doing what they're supposed to tonight, that's a great point, as these guys have shown maturity to, not overlook this game, not let Westminster hang around and make them feel like they have a chance in it, and took care of business, like you said.
Jake Toolson uncharacteristically misses from the free throw line, and you can see the frustration on his face.
Jake, an 84% free throw shooter last season for the Wolverines,
misses both.
We jinxed him with that one.
Those are the only 2 free throws that he shot all night so far. Pesky Hayden Skank. Jake Toolson wants revenge. Gets those 2 points right back. At this rate, I think Utah Valley wants that 100. Jonas Topnainen with the sky hook. referee blows the whistle saying no shot. And he'll go to the line to shoot 1 and 1. Hayden Skank, look at those hands. Tried to give it to Connor, I think, and then Jake just took it away from him.
Jake was saying, I'm the one rolling tonight. I'm trying to work on my 30-point ball game to add to the 20 he's got right now. And owned that pass ahead, but again, it's just the intensity that Hayden Skank brings to the ball club. And as we've been talking about, McDougal's energy, Hayden brings the same thing to the table, and it's possession after possession, even if you're up by 30 points.
Jonas Tomnainen successful on both free throws. Jonas Tomnainen, 8 points now after those 2 free throws. Skank to Ben Nikwasa. The hand check is going to be called against Chantry Ross. And Ben Nikwasa will shoot.
Both teams now in the one-on-one bonus going for the rest of the game, so we'll shoot free throws here on out. Hopefully Jake can find himself back to the free throw line to improve on that 0 for 2 for the season.
Beniquasa cashes that one in from the charity stripe. Beniquasa now 7 points on the evening. Now Westminster on the offensive side. Jonas Tomnainen squares up Richard Harward. Again, former teammates. Tomnainen going back to that little baby sky hook. Tomnainen now in double digits. Richard Harward going to go to work. His first offensive look. And the whistle's blown away from the ball. And that'll go against Chantry Ross again.
That one coming as Hayden Skank dove after feeding Richard on the block, and Westminster continuing to have to respect those cutters because the bigs pass so freely out of the post. That time Chantry got caught for the hold.
Yeah, I do believe that was Chantry Ross's, I think they said that was his 5th personal foul.
I have that now for his 3rd, but maybe
he had 2 quick back-to-back fouls right here, so that is indeed his 5th. So Chantry Ross's night is finished. And Hayden Skank is called for a foul on the other side.
Get a replay on this as Hayden continuing to be aggressive defensively, got his hand on that ball, and Travis Devonshire a little lucky there that the official got a bad angle on it because that one looked pretty clean.
I believe what we were told was Devonshire.
I think I pronounced it 4 different ways, so I apologize to him and his family.
Devonshire must be French for good because he makes both free throws at the free throw line. Devonshire sounds like an 80s band. Great name.
French from all the way from Sandy, Utah.
Skank, pull-up jump shot. Good.
Sometimes when you get a call that doesn't go your way after you feel like you've made a great hustle play and a play defensively, you can get your energy going. We saw a little extra bounce in that jump shot from Hayden Skank there going to his right.
It's Hayden Skank's first bucket. Beautiful jump shot, almost floats it in there in this follow through. Hayden Skank can't say enough good things about that young man. Connor Toulson jogs to the bench. He'll take a seat. And another fresh face for Utah Valley, Drew Cotton from Tucson, Arizona, the freshman. Checks in. Harward gobbles up the rebound. 87-60. Quassa trying to yoke some time. Jake Tilson drives, tried to dish it to Richard Harward. Rich a little bit upset. He missed that one. That was a pretty dime look from Jake Tilson.
Hayden again getting his hands on another ball there defensively. It's about the fourth or fifth ball he's been able to deflect away. That one just getting way out of bounds, but
Jonas Tapanainen. Connor dribbles left. Kick out. Moore missing. Richard Harward again, another strong rebound. Jake Toulson in the corner. Quassa back to Skank. Skank with the drive. Another offensive touch from Hayden Skank. This one off the glass. And it looks like Westminster will take a timeout. That'll be a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here. Utah Valley almost stretching their lead down to 30. Hayden Skank drives. Again, contains that composure. Slam cam. Kiss right off the glass. Effortless.
Did an excellent job, too, of trying to get it above that square. Again, as these guys continue the next few weeks and games, they're going to be playing against a lot of length and athleticism, so finishing it high above the glass and above that square will definitely be an emphasis for the guards.
Hayden Skank, some handshakes and high fives from his coaching staff. His night might be done. 4:42 mark. Lots of smiles on the Utah Valley bench, and deservedly so. They played a heck of a game tonight, very efficient from the floor. As Drew Cotton gets caught for the foul. Jake Connor will shoot two. Connor makes the first. And Connor makes the second. Less than 5 to play. Ben Quassa. Crossover, pull-up jumper. Rims off. Good rebound by Eli. Jonas Tapanainen kicked out on the baseline. Harward. Ben Quassa in full stride. He draws contact, finishes, and one.
What a play by Ben Quassa coming clear out of the corner to get that rebound here. And as we see the chase down attempt, is you see that off elbow there by Ben Quassa, catches Jonathan Eli there in the nose, and hopefully He's okay. Again, nothing intentional there by Ben DeQuassa, just trying to protect the basketball as he came up to the rim. And then we now see Chandry come back into the lineup.
If you beg your pardon, the scores table, the referee came over and did say that was indeed Chantry Ross. That was his 4th on the last time. So he has 4 fouls in the moment. And another fresh face in the background behind Ben DeQuassa there, Cash Fields from Palo Alto, California. Freshman, so 2 true freshmen in Cotton and Fields. Something Utah Valley hasn't had in a long time. Last year, Richard Harwood was the only one.
We're used to the 27, 28-year-olds coming off the bench for the Wolverines. Not 2 young, fresh faces here.
And another foul is called. And that'll take us to another media timeout. 91-62, Utah Valley on top, right here on UVU TV.
Looking to spend that birthday money, Tyler? I'm just not sure which one to get. Well, they are both pretty cool. But saving some of that money would be pretty cool too. Yep.
When's the right age to teach your children how to save and spend money wisely? Right now, with the Be Money Smart program only at Utah Community Credit Union. Inspiring smart decisions.
We take a look at Utah Valley's upcoming schedule. You mentioned Holton this Friday, crosstown rival BYU. And then they hop on a plane early Saturday morning, fly out to St. Mary's in California. So those are 2 WCC foes. And that will be 2 tough tasks for Utah Valley. But again, Coach Pope, there's no toughest 24 this year. But he does like to expose his team to the toughest competition that he can to make them better come WAC play.
Yeah, and that's what he mentioned in the WAC Media Day. He emphasized that he liked to test his team early and said that can either break his team or help shape the rest of their season, in the sense that playing those types of teams really exposes what maybe weak links are or what you are really good at, and obviously strengthen and focus on those things that they do well and improve the things that they don't. And playing those, BYU, St. Mary's, Utah State are going to expose all those items, especially as they go back to the film and watch this game and last year's season as well. And there'll be some fun games to follow.
And again, don't forget, that Arizona game. It's going to be a duel in the desert. Wolverines versus the Wildcats.
We'll take a lot of these guys home now. I think we've got 4 or 5 guys from Arizona, so that'll be another game marked on those guys' calendars as they get to return home.
Harwood. Nice pass. That would have been the first collegiate bucket for Fields. His teammates all erupted on the bench. Ben DeQuassa with a nice gallop. Fields pulls the trigger. Bailey Steele with the rebound. And a foul is called on Brandon Willardson, I beg your pardon, redshirt freshman from Richfield, Utah, via Salt Lake Community College.
Nice to see Cash not shy away after missing that last layup attempt, but saw another opening, and everybody on the bench wanted to see him knock that shot down.
Bailey Steele strokes it. Bailey Steele's 5th point. 5 rebounds. Richard Harward fighting for it. Fields with the no-look opportunity. I think the place would have gone crazy if that went in.
Second.
92-64. 3:04 to play. Brandon Willardson shooting 2. Willardson misses the front end.
Break out the Culvers if they miss 2 free throws in the second half. Get something going here.
Heaven knows I don't need any more ice cream in my life. You, on the other hand, haven't gained a pound since I first met you a couple years ago. Bailey Steele gets fouled. Bailey Steele has a couple words with his former teammate, Jonas Tavanainen.
To Jonas's credit, that's every interaction I've seen with him and his previous teammates has all been positive. You can see him kind of chatting it up with Richard there on the block, and you know, it's great to see. There's not any like bitter resentment going back home to a team that he probably wishes he was still a part of, but you know, a much bigger role he'll play for Westminster going forward.
Bailey Steele misses. 93-64. Nice drive and dish. Good outlet set. Ball bounces all over the place. Another strong rebound, a kick out, and a reset for Westminster. Ball poked away. Bendequassa. Gotta love the hustle if you're Coach Pope. Even though you're up by this much, still diving on the floor for loose balls. That's the type of play that'll earn your teammates respect and keep your, I'm sure Bendequassa has well more than earned his teammates respect, but tries to pick the pocket and then dives on the floor to try and spring a teammate for a fast break.
And the coaches have got to love it. Again, these guys are up 30 right now, and to have your lead guard out there scrapping and clawing and getting on loose balls with 2 minutes to play, starts to build a culture for what and who these Wolverines are going to be this season.
Richard Harward hit the floor hard. Couldn't tell if that was the back of his head or if that was the elbows that made that sound first.
Excellent positioning. Nice job by Richard of seeing the court there as stepped in there, sacrificed his body.
Cotton comes around the corner. Bailey Steele with the touch. Tipped by Harward. Still Wolverine possession. Watson pull-up jumper. No good. Here comes Westminster. Jay Connor, nice move. Goes back to that left hand of his. It's so consistent. 66-93. Gives way to Nequassa. Nequassa back to Harward. Harward still gets the rebound, gets it back out to Nequassa somehow. Nequassa for 3, yes! Wide open 3 on the other side. To Vacheray. Harward. They're calling offensive foul on Big Rich.
Tough call going against Richard, where I think these guys have been banging against each other all game long down there on the blocks. With 30 seconds left to go in the game, a little bit ticky-tack there. Going against a guy that's trying to get reps in, trying to get a feel for what it's like when the lights are turned on, is get a nice drive to the left by number 32,
Nate Dow. It looks like Utah Valley is just going to let the clock wind down. Ben Niquasa will let the clock dribble. And that's the final score, 96-71. So not a bad premier outing for this 2018-2019 squad for Utah Valley. Coach Pope congratulating Westminster. Hard-fought match between the two clubs, and Westminster, they put up a fight. They were scrappy.
Yeah, they shot the ball really well from the outside, but ultimately Jake and Connor Toulson just too much for the Westminster perimeter players. But it was really everybody getting involved defensively to hold Westminster only 71 to Wolverines 96 tonight.
Final score 96-71. Coach Pope congratulating and high-fiving some of the new courtside members. It's a new addition to this UCCU experience, and one that Coach Pope really wanted to get the fans involved with. He wanted the fans to have something that they could hold on to, something they could claim as far as courtside. And there you see him congratulating his fans and his supporters, thanking him. And that was one of the promises that he would give, is those that would have been such a huge support and continue to be there for him will continue. He'll continue to personally thank them.
And these players will continue to thank them with their effort on the court. These guys come out here and play every night. So for those that are at home watching and thinking about coming to a game, these guys come and play every night. And tonight was a great atmosphere, a terrific crowd. A lot of students came out to support these guys. And again, they play hard every single night, and they're a fun group to watch and be a part of.
Jake Toulson all smiles as he is the leading scorer of the whole game tonight. 22 points, the final stat line for him. He was 9 of 14 from the floor, 50% from three, 4 of 8 from three. Missed those 2 free throws, which we know he'll get back. And he had 2 rebounds and 3 assists as well. Other high scorers for Utah Valley: Connor Toulson with 14, Connor McDougall with 13, Ben Niquasa with 12, and Isaiah White with 10. Isaiah White was just 2 rebounds shy of that double-double. As you see Coach Pope talking it over with his former coach, Rick Pitino, talking about some strategy, I presume. You could see Coach Pitino leaning over the whole game, and he was really focused and really you can tell that when you have something like that, when that's part of your life, it doesn't go away. And sure, with you living with your dad and you've seen it, it's hard for them to take that off. There's no off switch, right?
That's exactly right. One's a coach, always a coach, and you know, it's something that they love and appreciate. And as we get a shout out from Connor McDougall here.
Jake Toulson, again, offensive player of the game. And it looks like he will be getting set to text with our third member of the broadcast crew, the lovely Alexa O'Neill. Alexa is there with Jake Toulson.
Oh, we're good. I got all the time in the world.
Okay, Jake, how did it feel to be able to start off the season this way? Great win, great fans, everything.
I mean, it was great. Yeah, like you said, the UCCU Center was packed tonight, and, you know, it's always fun to win, so I'm glad that we started it off right.
Great. Thank you so much.
All right, Alexa, great
guys.
job. And we have President Duvernay there as well. She is just, again, so supportive. I beg your pardon, that was President Tuminez. I don't speak Tagalog. She speaks like 7 languages, and I need to make sure that I have that one down. President Tuminez, very supportive and I know that she said she'll continue to be supportive throughout her tenure. Again, your final score from the UCCU Center, 96-71. Utah Valley on top. Light the UCCU Center green tonight. Utah Valley victorious.